Okay, so we're going to have a look at using the Steelseries Nimbus controller on your Mac. Obviously, it's been purposely made for Apple TV and iPhones and iOS, basically, and Apple TV OS. But it also works on a Mac. Now, interestingly, I thought that's quite a good thing. You can have up to 4 controllers, which sounds perfect for some emulation. Of course, the biggest emulator on the Mac is the Openemu, which allows you to play most of the, a lot of the consoles, including the Sega Genesis, Mega Drive, the Nintendos, from the NES up to the Nintendo 64. Oh no, it doesn't do Nintendo 64, does it actually?
Project 64.
No, but anyway, so I've been looking at trying to get this one working. It was really easy to pair with Bluetooth, and I do like the feel of it. I do like the rubber control sticks. However, certain games I prefer the D-pad, especially with retro games. Gives you that little depth of control that you need, the digital depth of control. So you just want to press it once or a couple times. You don't get that with the stick. So I was really surprised when I went to configure the controller. So here we've got the Super Nintendo set up within Openemu, and I've selected Nimbus as my controller, which became selectable straight away, so it is fully compatible. And then as I decided to go up and down and select the buttons, I press up, doesn't do anything. Look, so you can't use the D-pad, not at all. So forget that. Of course, you press up, you press left, and it picks up, the left and right and everything from the stick, which is fine. And then of course you come to the select and start, and you think, well, maybe I use the middle button as the start button, so what am I going to use the select button? So I'll have to pick on one of the ones at the top. The SNES controller had 2 shoulder buttons, so I have to pick which one I want for select. So I'm going to pick this one. So I'm going to try to use the middle one as a start button, but of course that doesn't work either. So I'm saying it's compatible, but I'm giving it a bit of a thumbs down for compatibility, because you can't use the buttons. In actual fact, I'm starting to think the design of the Steelseries Nimbus should have had a couple extra buttons. I know the competitors have got perhaps 1 or 2 on the front here, maybe 1 or 2 at the back. Start and select would have been perfect. So I'm going to use this shoulder button, and then I'm just going to go around the clock and I'm actually not going to do A-B correctly. I'm going to follow the pad like so. Okay, so that's set up, and that works fine. So I can play that in game. So I'll give you a little show of that working. Classic Mario Kart style. So of course I'm definitely wanting to press start, but I have to press start from here. Just tapping A, just want to get through it. And there we go. No problems. But did I press select by mistake then? I think I probably did. No, not sure what happened there. Yeah. I'm pressing something. Yeah, they showed the button. Right, so I want to pause it. I'll keep going back to this middle button. It's a real pain in the butt. It's a real shame that we haven't got full control. Things get even worse when we go over to the Mega Drive. So let's go over to the Mega Drive and have a look at the control preferences for the Mega Drive. Now, early days in the Mega Drive, we only had the A, B, and C, but later on they introduced X, Y, and Z, or Z if you're American. So again, we've got no D-pad at all. We're stuck with the analog stick. we've only got 4 buttons here, and if I want to use a start button, I can't use the middle one. So how the hell am I going to map all these buttons? I just can't do it. So there just aren't enough buttons for me to map everything. That's a real problem. So yeah, it doesn't make any sense really to use it as for emulation. I would still stick with having some of the classic controllers made. So some people are using the Nintendo Pro, Nintendo Wii U Pro remote. That tends to be a firm favourite, and maybe I'll do a review of that in the future. But this one, next we'll try it with the iPad on iOS and the iPhone 6s Plus. We see how the pad performs with certain games, and we'll go from there. Okay, please subscribe. See you soon.